And now we're live. So I'm
Yay.
super excited because tonight, on this beautiful Sunday evening, filled with rain and everything else beautiful, and we've got so many people that have joined us already on Instagram, Jax, but they can't see you,
Yay.
but I'm just giving them the heads up that you are here. And you will be able to see us if you want to see both Jax and me at the moment at the same time. Hop onto Facebook because on my account and Jax's account, this will come up live straight away. If you're on Instagram at the moment, you're only going to see me, but you will see. Apparently, Sunday night is a good time to go live. Everyone comes on. You will hear Jax talking, and this video is recorded, and we will put it on Instagram as well. But it is live on Facebook right now, just so you know. Anyway, I'm very excited to be with Jacqui Lee, or Jacqui Lee tonight, talking all things about her health journey because she has been a believer forever in health and nutrition and diet and with her work, obviously. But Jax, tell us, how did your journey begin, or what got you interested in all of this, and why are you so passionate about it? And actually, sorry, what I also should say is tell us who you are because you have an amazing business.
Wow. I am a skin therapist, so I have my own little skin studio in Victoria.
It's pretty amazing.
So that is my passion, that's my love, that's my third baby. Where I create magic and treat my beautiful clients to I'm really passionate about holding a space for women to come and be nurtured and be cared for, because I think as women we're the ones looking after everyone else usually. So I'm really passionate about holding that space for women to come in and have that time with me to be really nurtured. But I'm equally very passionate about skin and treating people's skin and helping people have the healthiest skin that they can possibly. So that's my business. I love it. And and I suppose what has brought us together, Shelley, that was probably 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was really the I mean, I've studied a lot in skin and the link to nutrition, which I absolutely love, but of course that's kind of out of my scope. So I went looking for someone that could help me with clients, because so much of what I see topically on client skin is driven internally. So there's only so much that I can do topically to help them, with certain skin conditions, not all, but yeah, so I really wanted to reach out and find someone that could help support my clients both internally while we're treating topically to get the best results possible. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then I found you, and it was
a
dream. And then you've been changing clients' lives left, right, and center. I mean, I sing from the rooftops about you, and I mean, I see firsthand clients coming to me. We start treating their skin. I start talking to them about their internals and the nutrition, and then I send them to you, and then it's just like everything falls into place. It's magic.
Absolutely, because we both do know that it's inside impacts the outside impacts the inside too, both of those things. And like you say, working with women, especially, and holding that space, how we feel on the outside does also, from my point of view, impact the internal side too, because for a lot of women, if they've got conditions on their skin or if they're not feeling as beautiful as they want to be feeling, that's a huge stress load on their bodies, and stress obviously impacts what I'm trying to do internally.
Absolutely. It's one big holistic, you have to look at the full picture, and that's certainly something that I have kind of experienced myself with my journey. It's kind of been really lovely to have to go through it firsthand, because I'm still trying to kind of understand and unpack it all, but it's hard to know what comes first, the chicken or the egg, if that makes sense, because there's so much with your gut and then the way that you feel. That creates so much change.
And Jax, so where did your health journey begin? Or what? Obviously, you started because of your clients and you wanted to give them the best results. Like that really was one of your biggest drivers and biggest motivators, right? Was really helping your clients.
Yeah.
So then, where or what motivated you with your health, or what spurred that on?
Well, I mean, you and I came and saw you 4 years ago, but I suppose we can both be honest.
I didn't know you. Like, I was like, is she gonna own that she saw me 4 years ago?
Yeah, no, I'm owning it. We're here. We're speaking the truth. So I guess it was, we dipped our toes in a few times, to be fair. But I think,
and you dipped well, because some of the things and I think this is okay to say, when you first came to see me, like, you were a busy mum of two young children with a very successful business, and you really just weren't eating during the day. Like, my biggest thing when you first came to see me was, how do I get food into Jack so she can be not faint? Like, I was like, I don't even know how she gets through the day. And it wasn't you just weren't not eating. It was you literally just didn't have time.
Yeah.
And then trying to get water into you was like the two things. Like, that was like all I was trying to do.
I seriously considered like strapping a camel pack onto myself sometimes. So I could just slurp on it in between, like, while I was doing facials. Yeah, I mean, it was a real challenge. But then I think that, like, I've had lots of time with knowing that we were going to chat tonight to kind of really think about, where my mindset was at, and how, you can create this story about how you're so busy and how you don't have any time and how I'm back to back with clients. But that was all just a story. And I know that now, because I'm probably the busiest that I could ever be. Now, particularly in the last sort of 7-8 months, and yet I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm living it.
Okay, you are Jax. Like, you are a rock star with it now, and like you say, you are the best. And from my point of view, what I would say is, when you first came to see me, as a lot of mums do when they come to see me, you wanted to fix everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to fix all your I was going to say patients, but they're not patients, clients. Yep. And you keep being like, in the appointment, I had to keep being like, Jax, we hear about you. Well, your two daughters, like, that's great. They've got things going on too. But we've got to actually get you sorted, and then we can worry about them. Yeah.
But isn't that so? I think that whole wanting to look after everybody else, whether it's your children, your family, your clients, I think part of that comes as like a potentially not a fear, but there's an avoidance of actually turning inward and actually facing. Do you know what I mean? Which is where the magic happens, I've found.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we dipped our toes in, and you definitely made some amazing changes. Like, you really did. And you felt better. Like, you did feel better along the way with, like, getting in broth, getting in your fermented foods, increasing your water. But then what made you, at the beginning of this year especially, like, you came to me, even though we'd had interactions, like when you'd come and use the Detox Center and you were using the oils. One thing you've been really committed to, though, Jax, right from day dot, is getting parasympathetic. Like, you took that message and you really ran with it. You loved your oil, and that was like your best friend. Like, that really, like, you have been committed to that, legs up the wall, doing all those things. But at the beginning of this year, what changed? What was the story that you started telling yourself, or what was the urgency, or why did you really go, I'm going to go all in now?
Well, this year has been a massive journey inward, and that the catalyst for that was just huge change in my life. Which is generally the reason for most people to have a big shift. So for sort of context around that, I became a full-time solo mum with running the business. And I absolutely adore it, but I think it's like any journey into a new kind of season of your life, it takes time just to kind of find the new rhythm. And there was a lot of other stuff going on amongst all of that that was sort of out of my control. And I think those challenges really brought me to a place of recognizing that I needed to not outwardly spend my energy, but actually turn that inwards so that I could be the best version of myself and the best mum to my 2 girls, because they've really needed me this year. So that's kind of where, that journey inwards was really where it started. And I decided that I was going to do my yoga teacher training. That was a goal for me this year. And everything magically just kind of fell into place. Like it just, and it's worked out beautifully. And so I knew my start date of when I was going to start my yoga teacher training. And I really put this focus inward, and I just spent time cultivating change. So, and that was something that was kind of like, it was like a journey of months of, lessons, learning, healing, making mistakes. But it's sort of come with really loving myself. And I decided to do the detox because I wanted to do the detox going to yoga. And that,
so what did you do for the detox, Jax?
What did I do?
Yeah.
So I did your 21-day detox.
You did it all on your own, out of with everyone else. You were like a brave lone wolf.
I did it solo, and that was pretty it was pretty huge, wasn't it? Yeah, and I really didn't think that I sort of went in a bit blind, but I'm kind of glad that I did. I also had taken myself off gluten and dairy already for weeks prior to that, and I hadn't been drinking, so I haven't been drinking now for almost 4 months. So I kind of naively thought I'll be fine. I don't drink coffee. I'm not having any of these. It'll be totally fine. But it was the opposite, as we both learned. I ended up in bed for a week, like Grandpa Joe of Willy Wonka, not being able to walk. But I think the amazing message was like that. What you said is, I think any form of healing, you kind of have to get worse before you get better. And so that's kind of.
How did you feel at the end of it?
So I wrapped up the detox and felt amazing. Back on my feet, which was great. That sort of that was a quick turnaround. And then I went on my yoga. So that was 5 days of just being just outside of Raglan, no phone service, no internet service, just full immersion in like breath work, meditation, yoga. Was amazing. And I've honestly, from that point till now, I suppose in some ways I'm still doing the detox, but I'm still not eating any gluten, no dairy, no sugar, no alcohol. But not so much because I'm detoxing, but because I feel so amazing that it's not worth it. There's no, I don't miss any of it, and I have no desire because of how amazing I feel. I think for years of sort of feeling like I couldn't see the wood for the trees, and I kind of couldn't figure out which way to go to try and find my way out. Of how I was feeling, whether it was my body or just, I guess, to a certain extent, just the way that I was thinking as well, my mental health. All of that has changed now. It's unbelievable.
And one of your concerns, Jax, like way back when you first came to see me, is, but what am I going to eat for dinner? Like, what am I going to cook? Like, that was always like messages backwards and forwards, like, what should I eat? And now, like, you make the most amazing dinners, but how hard is it to eat like this? Like, is it actually a struggle? Like,
And I say this from a place of, where I can understand how, everyone says to me, but what do you eat? Once you get in a groove and you find your little you know, strategies, and you get on a roll, and it's super easy. And I love cooking for myself now. And I you know, I was kind of in this really bad place where I was just constantly, you know, snacking on whatever the, you know, kids hadn't finished for their dinner, or, you know, I was just on the go, and I never consciously created a meal for myself necessarily and sat down and ate that really consciously, even though I knew that that's what I should be doing. There was always 1,000 other things, you know, going on. But now that's like this ritual where I get my children down to sleep, and then I'm creating my meals, and it's, yeah, I love it.
And
so
what kind of things do you cook? Like, what sort of things are you cooking?
So I'm not having any red meat, so everything's fish or chicken. I have so many favorites at the moment. I am eating heaps. So I've got my veggie garden, so I love harvesting. Like I've got kale and spinach and celery out there, so they're always kind of in the mix. Heaps of greens. I'm really loving silver beet. So what I'm tending to do is using heaps of spices and doing dry rubs on either chicken or fish. So that just makes it really easy. I just throw that either in the pan or in the oven. I've been making amazing salads, so like a beetroot salad, which I love, and I make that in bulk, so that's in the fridge. So a lot of the time, all I have to do is cook up my fish, and then I'm bringing out my salad, and I chuck that on the plate, and then I saute up some garlic and some silver beet, and then I slice up some avocado, and I throw over some seeds, and then happy days. So that's kind of like one of my really good easy go-tos when I know that the kids have got swimming lessons and we're kind of in a rush and we get home. And yeah, and then other times I've been making beautiful broths, like with the organic best broth, the chicken best broth. So I add some turmeric and some cayenne pepper to that, and some veggie stock, which I make from scratch. And I just have a jar of that in the fridge. So I throw all that together and make like this beautiful broth. And then, I'll pop in some chicken and some greens, and it's delicious.
And does it feel too hard?
No.
That's
Nothing feels too hard anymore, because I think it's this sense of, I know how good I feel now. Because I've been trying to explain this to friends recently. It's almost like I feel like I've hit a factory reset on my body, on myself.
And that's such a good way of describing it. It's kind of like, you know, when you reset your phone, like you've restored.
You go back to your factory, to how you should be. Like this, I feel like this is who this, without any of the noise or the like, it's insane when I think about it, the brain fog that I had and the exhaustion that would just roll in like dark clouds at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. You know, just the indecisiveness. I don't know that, my jaw clenching, my joint pain. So lots of little sort of lots of little things that I didn't really recognize as symptoms of my gut being so inflamed. And now, it's amazing. I sleep amazingly. Yeah. I have so much energy that I wish that I had more hours in the day, because I'm forcing myself to go to bed at nighttime because I just want to keep going like a little Energizer bunny. It's insane.
And do you think that's the biggest lie? Like, you know, when you first came to see me, you were worried that all of this was going to take too much time and you didn't have the energy for it. So you kept eating those quick, easy things, or eating. But then now that you've put in the effort to make the food, now you've got all the rewards, like the better brain focus, the brain clarity, the energy, the better sleep. So which then helps it make it easier to keep implementing all of these good habits that you've created.
It's amazing, because I think you think that you're too busy to make it happen, but really it's the antidote to everything.
Yeah. And the key word there is antidote. It truly is. So and it's up, do you want to, obviously you've touched on like the joint tenderness, but what are some of the symptoms that you wouldn't have necessarily recognized as being diet related that now, since you've changed your diet, you've seen a difference with? Like, are there any other surprising ones?
I think those are like the jaw clenching I always thought was kind of stress, and that was creating a lot of sort of neck pain and shoulder and wrist pain for me. So of course, that comes with like acupuncture and going to osteos and all of that kind of thing. But it is that's gut related, right? Am I right?
You're 100% correct. And do you want me to tell you what particularly it is to do with your gut? And this isn't necessarily you personally. And I was shocked to learn this because I learned this on my health journey. So I'll tell you this from a personal, but I've done the science to back it up now. Jaw clenching is often a sign of parasites. So it's an imbalance of gut bacteria. So that's one of the biggest surprising symptoms. And I remember when I learned that, I was like, what the heck? Who would have put jaw clenching down to parasites, like an imbalance of your gut bacteria? Like you, Jax, I always thought that it was stress related too. Like we were just stressed and we were holding the tension there. But when I cleaned up my parasites in my gut, the jaw clenching left too.
Yeah. Amazing.
So it's phenomenal. It's a surprise. It's something that I didn't expect.
Yeah. That one I didn't see coming, to the point where I'd been to the dentist and she had mentioned about I suppose because of my teeth potentially that she could tell that I was grinding.
Grinding.
So and even had a conversation about like Botox in the jaw, not that I would necessarily consider that, but just as a potential option. But this is sort of, it makes you think that you can go down these tracks trying to treat something that you think, when you try and unpack it. And I honestly am at the point where I just think everything is gut related. Everything, like treat the gut and everything will be fine.
Well, you're like the whole, like to some degree, you're 100. Well, at least get that sorted and then see what else is sticking out as the problem, and then see if there really is a problem.
Yeah.
But even like with young children, like their attention in class changes when we get rid of what's happening in their gut bacteria.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've had smart children that were very low in their class because of all their gut inflammation, and as soon as we got that, they were back to topping their class again. And the teachers were ringing the parents being like, what is going on? Like, how did your child transform overnight? And they're like, oh, let me tell you. It's all to do with the gut. And the teacher's like, okay, whatever, you've lost me. Okay.
Okay. All right, yeah.
And then, Jax, what would you put down your better sleep to? Like, why do you think you're sleeping better now just because of your diet?
My sleep. I mean, I just think because I don't know. I don't know why I'm sleeping better. I just am. I think my days just feel really full and consistent. Like there's no ups and downs of energy levels. My energy is just amazing throughout the whole day, so I can achieve so much, and then I just feel really content and I sleep like a wee baby. It's great.
I know, isn't it the best?
It's amazing. Yeah, really.
What's the most surprising thing that you've implemented along this health journey that's given you the biggest surprises?
I think I have surprised myself just I mean, I'm a pretty determined person, and I'm an all or nothing kind of gal. So when I made the decision to do this, there really wasn't any question of me, maybe cheating or, having a little bit of this here or there. It's like I'm in and I'm doing it. And so I'm really proud of myself for that, because it takes a lot of self-control. I've been to lots of, birthday events and, my children's birthday parties and, lots of those kind of family get-togethers and things where it's not always easy to, but you just have to be organized, prepared. Like I had a photo shoot today and just took along my own little snack box with my sauerkraut and my carrot sticks, my coconut yogurt and, my smoothie and so it's just about being organized.
I was going to say, do you think that's a key tip to other people starting out on their health journey or for mums? Like, and when we say organized, like how organized are we talking? Like, is it that hard to be organized? Is it just that we have to put some thought into it?
I think it comes with you have to be really, you have to make a conscious decision that you are going to be really aware of what you are putting into your body. So for me, it became around everything. I started questioning myself: is this taking me closer to where I want to be or further away? And that was right back from when I decided to give up drinking. That wasn't because I didn't really drink much at all. Like I wasn't a wine a night. I would maybe every now and then have a couple of wines in the weekend. But I just decided that it was actually not. It wasn't feeding my soul anymore. Not that it fed my soul, but it wasn't taking me closer to where I wanted to be. And I've got so much that I want to achieve, and what's most important to me is showing up and being really present with my two girls. And so this whole notion of, is this taking me closer or further away from what I want and all the things that I want to achieve in my life? And that came down to even the little things when I was looking at, when I'm preparing the girls' lunches, and I would just kind of mindlessly snack on the bits and pieces that I was putting in their lunch boxes. It just became about, is this taking me closer to my gut health or further away? So that was kind of, I think that is the biggest thing, because you have to make that decision. You have to be strong enough and have the willpower not to just put things in, does that make sense?
Totally, Jack. And I think you've hit on a key point here, that you weren't just trying to get out of the day-to-day grind of the symptoms that you're experiencing in your body. You now have a whole dream and a whole vision for your life, for your children's lives, for your daughter's lives, and for your life with them. And so now it's bigger than the symptoms. It's bigger than the day-to-day. It's more like you say, is this leading me to the life that I want, to being the best mom, to being the best version of me, to being all of the best business owner, to be able to have the best life possible. So you moved on from just the day-to-day ins and outs to really moving it up in terms of, what is your passion? What is your vision for your life? And I think that's really key, because for me too, that's what it comes down to. It's not the symptoms. I got out of bed, after years. But for me, what drives me and keeps me being healthy is me. I want to be the best version of me. I want to show up to work each day and be the best. I want to be the best version for my family. I want to have longevity.
Yeah.
Like at today, we're all moving towards something. We're either moving towards really good health, or we're not moving towards really good health, going backwards in today's world. That's
exactly right. Yeah. And there's so much, we're kind of bombarded with so much that kind of tempts us away from, from the life that we want or the health that we want. So I think it really has to become that conscious decision and a real drive towards that. And so with regards, just to loop back to the question that you asked me, it's not, definitely I would say you have to be organized, but it's not difficult. I just know what I enjoy eating now, and so I just make sure that I always have that stocked in the fridge or in my cupboards. I'm loving I'm making my own seed crackers and my own seeds, and so they're a constant. So at nighttime, I love it. I'm in my kitchen listening to music, sipping tea, and making my seed crackers. And yeah, I think there's like a joy in making the food that I'm eating, and so then it doesn't feel like a chore.
I totally agree with you. And it's finding your happy place. We get our routine, we get our rhythm. You get, like what you like might be the seed crackers. What I might like is the kimchi or whatever it is. So, you find your happy place. You know what you like and what brings you joy. For us, being healthy isn't being miserable. Like, who says you can't have things that you absolutely love eating and enjoy doing while you're trending towards having the best health, having the best life possible?
Well, and I think too that a little helpful trick is that my taste buds have completely changed, I think.
Oh, yes. Can you share that? Because it's true. That totally happens.
Yeah. Well, I think, mainly I say that because I make my smoothies every morning, and a couple of my friends have had a sip on my smoothie. They're like, oh, really not a fan of the And I'm like, this is my treat every morning. I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And yeah, and so I think my taste buds have changed. So it means that what I eat tastes amazing to me. Yeah.
Totally. So is there one health hack or health thing that you would encourage everybody to start doing that's really easy, like that will give them something really easy?
That's tricky.
I know. I'm asking you.
There's so many health hacks, specifically like food, or
You tell us.
I mean, my health hack would be go and see Shelley Garwith.
I know.
I will highly recommend the 21-day detox. I think I think that made the transition into obviously the treatment that we've kind of led into as well. It made that just really seamless. And because
it's like a DIY, like everything's there for you. Yeah. I think, like, I agree with you.
It's easy. And for me, being having quite a full life, I find that the smoothies are my ticket. It means that I know that in the morning I make like a double batch of smoothie, and I have my leftover jars, and I have my smoothie in the morning, and then I have a smoothie that goes in the fridge at work for lunch. And it means that I know that I'm getting protein and fiber and greens and so many good fats and antioxidants. It's all jam-packed. So I know that I'm getting all of that. And I think that's probably my biggest hack, is going from, and sipping on my water. But the smoothies are really great because it means that you don't have to overthink. You don't have to prep too much during the day. I don't need to snack on anything. It's just, I have my smoothies, and then I come home and I might snack on some seed crackers, or I might make a seed cracker with some avocado and some sauerkraut on top, or whatever it might be when I'm preparing the girls' meals. That's another good hack, is where I would usually be snacking because I'm making their food. I just make sure that I've got little snacks there that I can have, that I eat, instead of dipping into the naughty stuff.
Two questions, Jax, before we let you go, because we both value sleep so much. One is, James asked us on Facebook, what do you actually put into your smoothie? What is in your smoothie?
What is in my smoothie? I kind of mix it up, but as a general, I love, I've been getting into my wild blueberries. Everyone always cracks up when I say that, but they have double the antioxidants.
They do.
So they're really yummy. So I chuck some of those in, and some ice, and then collagen powder, flaxseed oil, coconut yogurt, or sometimes avocado, depending what I've got. And then I have my greens powder.
I love powder, just saying.
The greens powder, it's so good. And then, so at the moment I'm still having the NutriClear, which is a good source of protein, and then the fiber one. So that's a scoop. That's another powder that I get from you. What else do I throw in there? Sometimes some spinach, some cacao nibs. I love that's a big one for me. And sometimes I throw in some cinnamon. Spinach, kale. I don't get too crazy on mixing it up with lots of different things. I kind of have my go-to that I really love. And I've just found that unsweetened chai, which is really yummy. So that's just all kind of spices, and that goes in my smoothie.
I was like, what's she talking about? Yes. You're trying. On Instagram, they're saying, Jax, even though you're like, it's super simple, they're like, that's crazy. That's a heck of a lot of ingredients right there. But I agree with you.
But I have it all lined up. And then I check it all. My other trick is smoothie bags.
Oh, smoothie bags.
Yeah, so you can get little like the biodegradable Ziplocs, and then so you just put aside, I don't know, half an hour or whatever it might be, and get chopping. So get all your spinach and everything that you want to go in your smoothies, and then you ziplock those suckers down and put them in the freezer. So every morning all you do is rip them open and chuck it in, and then I chuck in my coconut water, and easy powders.
Totally easy.
And I swear, I know that sounds like a lot, but usually I am hustling 2 children out the door, and I throw that thing together like a well-oiled machine. Yeah.
You totally do. I agree with you. And one more thing before we let you go is what filtered into the girls? Like, what, as they're seeing mum change, and they're obviously seeing benefits with you and your health change, like, have they picked up on things, or are they curious with things, or has anything? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the girls are really funny, because now they say to me, are you allowed this, mum? Or, because they're so sweet, they always want to share things with me, and I sort of have to explain that I can't have them. And my eldest kind of, she likes to try and embarrass me and say, it's because she's on a diet. And I'm like, it's not a diet. So she's on a detox. But they understand that I've explained to them now, this is not a detox, this is not a diet, this is just how mummy is choosing to feed her body, to support her body, and that's making her feel really good. So I'm making decisions about what I'm eating and what I'm not eating, and they totally get that. So now it's now they're used to it. I mean, I took them to the movies in the holidays, and I mean, I've always been partial to dipping into some popcorn, and instead I sat next to them with my jar of sauerkraut and my and my sea crackers. I can't remember what else I took, but yeah, they were like, oh, mom.
Yeah, Jess, I laughed so hard because I remember when I was young and I'd go to the movies and mum would make us like take stuff from home because it was the healthy option, and all of I want was the popcorn and the lollies, and now I'm that person. Like,
I know
my movies is the sparkling water, because I'm like, no. I either don't need anything because I'm not hungry because I've been full, or I'm like, no, I take my niece and nephew and I'm like, no, you can have your healthy auntie's healthy food.
Auntie's healthy food. I love it. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, and I mean, again, it's a strategy. That was kind of a strategy where I'm like, I know I'm going to go to the movies and I'm going to want to like snack. It's almost like you get in that habit of wanting to snack, or when you go out of having a drink or whatever it might be. It's those kind of weird habitual things that are ingrained. And so it's just making sure that you've got something to kind of fill that gap. Yeah.
Have the girls changed anything that they're eating, or has anything changed in their lunch boxes just from what you're doing?
I am becoming much more conscious with what's going in their lunches, but you and I have chatted on this. I really had to focus on myself. Absolutely. First and foremost. I think we've gone down that track of trying to, of the girls have had their own little health journey, and they've come so far from when they saw you. And I definitely know that we've got more to go. Is that our timer?
No, just ignore that. Don't worry.
But yeah, for now, there's no massive changes. But I'm definitely planting the seeds with them. Like, we're going to go and see Shelley, and because I know I can recognize that there's things that I want to improve on for them, for their health. But I think it's really helpful for them to come and see you, and for it to come from you rather than a big shift from just me.
And especially when, it's so funny. Somebody on Instagram was like, that was me emailing you. You know what? No, I actually turn off all my notifications. I promise you, I've had so many people look at my computer and I can never get the notification sounds not to work. So that is hilarious that you were missing. So I was like, when I heard the sound, I was like, no, not another notification. Like, why does this not work for me? Anyway, I've accepted it now, and we just go with it. So no, Jax, well, I promise you, I don't have a timer that much. Other than the fact that me and you both like to go to bed and we don't like to be on the computer and screen time.
And we could just chat all night, I'm sure, because
totally. And I can't believe
company.
other people are on Instagram and social media on a Sunday night. Apparently, it's prime time. And I should do all my education.
I hope that there was some little nuggets of if I can inspire one person, because I truly believe if I can do it, you know, being solo mom, running a business, having lots of other plates spinning at the moment, that I think, you know, when things are feeling really out of control, if there's one thing that you just have to surrender to all of that. But if there is one thing that you can control, is choosing what you're going to put into your body and how that's going to make you feel. And that's really what I've discovered, that I wasn't prepared to abandon myself anymore. And it was really time for me to refocus, hit the factory reset. And it's unbelievable how amazing I feel.
Like, watching on, I can tell you how amazing you've been. How amazingly committed you've been to it, but how you've made it look so easy, and you're just glowing from the inside out throughout this. But just seeing you, like, as a personal friend, as a practitioner, the clarity, like the mental clarity that you've had since you've changed.
Been such a big shift. Like I think back now and I'm like, was that just me because of where I was at, or is that because of my gut? But my I'm not indecisive anymore. I know what I want. Everything, it's just easy. Nothing feels overwhelming. Everything kind of used to overwhelm me to a certain.
Totally, it did.
Yeah, and now I can have it all coming at me, and it's amazing.
And now you have so much more coming at you because you're a single mom. Like, when you emailed me, I have to admit, at the beginning of this year, once again, knowing your personal, like, being friends as well and loving you, and you were like, I'm all in. Like, I'm ready to go all in. I was like,
I'm in. We're doing this.
All in. Like, I was like, how much should be ready to go all in when your life is literally falling apart? You know, like, and I don't mean that.
No, but it was like, Shelley, you know, like, it was that point of kind of being brought to your knees, and there's so much beauty and power in that. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone else, and I don't want that for them. But if that has to be the catalyst for this kind of change, like, yeah, it's been such a gift. As much as I wouldn't want to, you know.
And the cool part is you've just taken it all in your stride. You've made it look achievable, easy. Like, I'm just like, how does she do it? She's got 2 young children. But you've just streamlined it. You've made it easy. You brought joy to the process. You're actually having fun. Yeah. I'm seeing you living your best life as a practitioner, a friend, a dear friend. I just can't believe the changes that have come about because of this. And Jax, you won't see all this feedback, but on Instagram and Facebook is just saying, thank you so much for sharing your story. And Jax did this just to help one person. So I can say from the feedback, Jax, you've helped more than just one person.
Well, I hope so.
That's saying that it's very useful, and they're very grateful. So thank you so much.
Well, I have to thank you so much, Shelley. You are such a source of inspiration for me, always. And we've been on this journey together for sure. And I can't thank you enough, because I feel like I can honestly say I can't remember being this happy in such a long time, and it's such a beautiful space to be in, to feel a true sense of joy. And it just means that I'm the most amazing friend and mother, and I just am so excited for what's to come. And that's all been possible because of your kind of guidance and knowledge.
And Jax, like, once again, on a personal level, not as a practitioner, as a friend watching you go through this, like, you have transformed. Like you say, you are a better friend. You are a better mum. You are a better, like, your life is much more organized, more disciplined, more your business. Like, the feedback that I'm getting from your clients that we share is just how much of a better person you are. We always loved you.
I hope I wasn't a bad person before.
I always loved you. You weren't a bad person, but just in terms of, because life's just easier for you.
Yeah,
like, it's all just fallen into place. You weren't a bad person. We always loved you. We loved your heart. We loved your joy. We loved how caring you were. But watching you also care for yourself is what all clients want. It's what all friends want for their friends. And it's what family wants, you know?
And now I just want it for everyone.
Yeah, we don't want to see our practitioners throwing themselves, you know, like we'd look on and we'd be like, but if she runs herself into the ground, how's she going to look after us? You know, like, so watching you glow, watching you thrive as a friend, as a practitioner, like that's what we want.
Yeah, no.
That's who you want to be for your girls. Like they want to see their mum thrive. They want to know that their mum can go through these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's showing them that we can do hard things. You know, life's going to throw you the curveballs, but as long as you're looking after you, and I've been so blessed with amazing support this year. Always, I have amazing friends, amazing family, so I'm very lucky.
Thank you so much, Jax, for sharing your story with us and for inspiring us and just telling us how easy it can be. So thank you for going into that, sharing.
You're so welcome. And if anyone personally wants to reach out to me, if anyone has any questions, I really am an open book.
She really is.
I really am. I won't hold back, and I can. Yeah, I'm happy to share
tips on how Jax does it, implemented it, what she's done. Please reach out.
It's always hard when you're trying to kind of like, you know, put it all out there. But yeah, if you want to chat with me one-on-one, I would love that. So reach out if you want to. Not that I'm anything special, but it's just I know from a personal experience from the outside looking in, you can feel like it's so unachievable. And now I'm like, if I can do it, you definitely can.
And Jax, that was my motivation for bringing together these client stories. Is I know watching on with my clients and just watching on like in terms of the clinic, people feel so alone. And that's why like when I brought in the Detox Center, the biggest thing that I saw was people started having conversations. The barriers were being broken down and people would start hear their stories. And so it's like, but when you know what you're going through is what somebody else is going through, it feels that much more easy. Like, you know, it doesn't feel so stressful. It doesn't feel so overwhelming. It doesn't feel like there's something wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong with any of us.
No.
It's changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks different for all of us, and it looks different depending on what factors we've got going on in our lives and what's happening in our lives. So that was the inspiration behind doing these interviews with clients, that at the end of the day, we're all everyday people. I'm an everyday person, and if we can do it and have such great results, and it's achievable, it's maintainable, then all of us can have amazing health.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've seen so many clients who have come to see you, and it has completely changed their lives. You know, clients that were potentially staring down medication for the rest of their life, or clients that were about to go in for major surgery, and then just, you know, it's unbelievable. I mean, I would personally, you know, my doctor was just happy to continue to flick out prescriptions, and you know, if you weren't that way inclined, that would kind of be the direction that you'd go. And I'm so proud that so many of the symptoms, conditions, things that were just constant for me and almost like debilitating for me with managing everything else, nothing now, nothing. So it's completely symptom free. That's another layer of, you know, you can have the Western kind of doctor prescriptions, antibiotics, you know, scans, potential surgery, which were all kind of in this all potentially going to happen for me. Just now, nothing. Just from healing my gut, just from doing what you and I have done together. And I mean, what more? I'm speechless. Yeah.
And I'm grateful that you trusted me, Jax. I'm grateful that you trusted me on this journey.
Yeah.
And you let me help you get better, basically. And so that you, trusted and put your faith in it, and you did it. You've been so diligent.
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful to you, and I'm super grateful for you sharing this tonight. And everyone else should be getting off technology right about now. Just saying, the Remy's like, come on, people. We need
Gotta
to get
off
off.
these screens.
We need to get out of the
Sign
lights.
off.
Yeah, so we're
Go
signing
to sleep,
off.
my
Have a
darling.
lovely Sunday night in bed, because we're all going to bed, right? Jackson and I are off
Yes.
to bed. Everyone here is off to bed. Let me see if I've quit that one. Yep, we've quit that one, Jax. And now we're going to stop this one.
Bye, everybody.